So the demo, let me tell you, if you are not a PS5 user for the first day of this demo, I will tell you straight up, you might as well wait if you are a PC user to want to play the demo. Because playing it on PS4 is not the best. That's the first thing I gotta tell you. Outside of that, what do I think about this demo? Well, first and foremost, for those of you that keep asking me, you can download the demo right now for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 off the PlayStation Store if you log in to your fucking PSN account, okay? So just go to the PSN Store, type in Street Fighter 6, and you will find it. Now, what do they offer in the demo? So in the demo, you get access to the following. You get access to all offline modes that are accessible in Fighting Ground and World Hub as far as what they want to give you. Meaning you can play one-on-one locally offline with a friend. You could play one-on-one locally offline, or you could play versus the CPU. As far as characters, you are only allowed these 2 stages and 2 characters. So you either play Genbu Temple or you play training stage. You can either play as Luke or Ryu, but the other fighters, which are a total of 4, 8, 12, 16, 18 characters, you can only play 2 of them, which is Ryu and Luke. Both of them being Shotos, so you're not really getting much out of it. Now, outside of Versus, you get Extreme Battle, you get access to, I want to say, you only get access to, so basically the ones in the demo. You basically get 5 knockdowns and Bull Run. All the other ones, you don't get, right? All the other gimmicks, which include the Mecha Friend, which are the Mega Man dudes, the drones, which are the shit that Krauser uses in RE4, Shock Zone, Bombs Away with the volleyball or whatever, you don't get access to any of those. You just get Down and Out and Bull Run. That's it. And you only get to play, like I said before, with both Ryu and Luke. You also get access to the tutorial of the game, of how to play the game itself, and character guides, right? You get access to basically, I believe, the beginner only. You don't get access to an intermediate and advanced, which is enough to get somebody to learn the mechanics of the game, right? At a basic level. You can play all of these modes with either classic or modern, but you can only play with both the applications and the Let's Get Started section with dynamic controls, which is AI learning controls that is only accessible offline. You cannot play it online. So you can't use dynamic controls online, only offline. Which, speaking of, there is no online mode that you can use. But what's good to know is that in Fighting Ground, the online modes will include ranked casual and a custom lobby. You don't have to do it through Battle Hub, which is nice. You don't have to use the Battle Hub if you don't want to. Character guides, you only get access to Luke and Ryu. I did all the character trials on stream. They basically go over an in-depth tutorial of how to play the character and make my job easy instead of having to make an actual video on it. And the best part about it is that when you go into the fundamentals section, they teach you how to do the basic strategy for that character, which is not bad. So you don't just read it, you could choose to try out what they're teaching you, which is nice as well. Now, the other section of this demo is, of course, the World Hub. And we're going to go into the World Hub, and I'll tell you basically what they give you and what they offer. The World Tour is basically like your campaign mode, your single player campaign, my career mode from like NBA 2K or some shit like that. It's basically the same concept. You cannot access the Battle Hub, considering that this is only available in the full game, and it's an online only mode, which is probably where a good portion of the social aspect of this game is going to be at. In any case, the World Tour allows you to create your character pretty much from scratch throughout the game's campaign, and you basically get to save that created character for the final version of the game when it comes out. So whatever you created, you can make it your default character in the final version of the game. Basically, you get recruited by Luke, and you're supposed to create your own character through the amount of options that they give you, right? I didn't do this because I'm gonna be playing this game on PC. I won't be playing it on PS4, so I really don't care about what my character looks like. That being said, like I said, you could save your avatar, but that's all you can really do. That will carry over to the final game. Now, here's where the problem lies if you are a PS4 user. I feel like if you play this game on PS4, it's going to be really bad as an experience, as a first-time experience. What happens here is the entire, like, hub is in 60 frames for PS4, but once you start playing actual, like, matches, like, fights in the story mode, what will happen is the game is going to crunch down to a staggering 30 frames per second, as opposed to the 60 that you would be like accustomed to when playing, you know, Fighting Ground. Again, you don't need to worry, right? The Fighting Ground, the actual like 1v1 will be 60 frames, but in World Tour, it is 30 frames per second on PS4. So, as you see, right, you're forced to use modern controls. You are not allowed to use classic controls at all for the entirety of this demo. Like, you can change it in the settings. They give you the option in the main menu settings, but they do not apply for World Tour because it doesn't save any of your progress, and it treats you like a first-time user. So as a result, you know, you're basically just sitting here just playing the first chapter of the game. As I'm showing you, the game is, again, in 30 frames. It is not in 60 frames for World Tour on PS4. On PS5, however, there are settings to where you can have it prioritize performance over quality. And as a result, you know, you can get the game to run at 60 frames per second. I cannot pause out of this tutorial and go back to the main menu. I have to actually, like, play the whole tutorial. So here you fight Bosch, right? And pretty much you can't use your classic controls. You must use modern. Which sucks because it means that it restricts what I want to do. But this is good for, like, new players. New players can really just, like, jump right in and play, which is nice for them, but it's not really nice for me, bro. You know? So now you go into the actual world hub, or like the World Tour, the overworld, and it takes a long time to load. We're talking like a good minute and change. It takes a long ass time. You're just sitting in this white screen. Now for me, it's probably not going to take as long because I had already played this. But I'm playing on PS4, so it might not even matter. That's a nice loading bar. For those of you on YouTube, y'all gonna have to deal with this. This loading bar is not fun. If you're on PS4, this is what you gotta deal with. Pretty bad. It's like I'm playing Sonic 06 again. Basically, you talk with your friend here. You're in pseudo Times Square. That's what they model it off of. And essentially, you walk around and you go and challenge people to fights. And this does have arcade stick controls. Like, you could use R1 to, like, control the camera and then press square and triangle to move left or right, or X and circle to move up and down. So they do allow for arcade stick control. Now, here you can, you know, mess with your settings and everything, right? And then you could check your missions, which is basically like starting it up. And that's pretty much what it is, right? You go and you talk to Alice, who's sitting there, and she'll basically teach you like how to use auto combos, basically. And you get to challenge people to fights. So that's pretty much what the World Hub is. Like, this is what it looks like, the World Tour, the story mode. This is the first section of the game. You basically challenge people, right? In this case, you could talk to someone and then talk, you know, figure out what they want to do. But I digress. I'm not going to do all of this, clearly. And as you can hear on my PS4 sounds like a goddamn jet engine. that is the world tour in a nutshell. Casuals will enjoy this mode, but if you are experienced like I am, you probably won't enjoy it until you get access to the classic mode controls, which is only possible in the full game. Because once you get the chance to, like, once the game tells you you can use casual mode, the demo ends. That's it. So that is pretty much the demo in a nutshell. It's very bare bones. There's really not much to do in this. I guess the last bit of things I have to talk about is how I feel about the demo. As you can see in the settings for PS4, they only allow you to mess with the input delay reduction. They don't have like a setting for graphics that allow you to prioritize quality over performance or vice versa. So this is why I say like the PS4 version might be the suboptimal like version to buy. You have to buy the PS5 or PC version. I really think that that is a big key when coming to playing this game. I feel like PS4 is pretty outdated for this game. You know, the demo itself is good, right? If you want to like jump in and see what Street Fighter 6 has to offer from like a bare bones perspective, like before you make an investment. But ultimately, like, I would just wait for the final game to come out. And if you're on PC and you're waiting for the demo, you're not going to get much. I would probably say wait till the final game comes out and buy it if you're already interested. If not, you can try out the game. And one tip I'll tell you is that you could go to character guides and you can go down to either Luke or Ryu. I chose Ryu. And you can go to a super, right? You could go to a super. So I would recommend going to your level 3 so you have the full resources available. And what you can do is you can hit the touchpad and you can practice with the two characters, right? So that's what I did. I basically used this as a way to get like a pseudo training mode. You obviously aren't going to be able to look at frame data. You're not going to be able to force the dummy to do anything in specific, but you get to practice combos. You get to try out certain things, and that type of stuff is fun for me. And that's really where the demo shines, right? Like, I can't really play the crack on stream. It's not legal for me to do so. So I could just play the demo and practice with Ryu. Even though I want to play Cammy and Manon and Marissa, you could practice how to play the game using the mode that's here. So yeah, it's definitely very much like a mode that I would suggest you try out if you want to just practice before the game comes out. So I would suggest like doing this if you want to practice. I would suggest you go into the actual settings and make sure input delay reduction is on. You'll get screen tearing, but the game will run at a smooth 60 and it won't lag. Because when I first played and I didn't do that, it was so laggy. So you have to turn that input delay reduction on. You have to turn it on. That's all I really got to say about the demo. I think the demo is really good. I think it's good if you want to, like, you know, practice using this trial mode with the two characters. But in terms of an overall advertisement, the demo isn't that great. Just understand that this is a demo. It's not going to be the final game. The final game will come out and you'll have all the content you want with it. And if you pre-order Street Fighter 6, you get to play the game early. Probably, I think May 31st is what they said. So you could try that. But yeah, I would stay away from the demo unless you're like playing on PC. And even then, I don't even think the demo is honestly not worth it. So yeah, all good, all cool. I'll see you guys in the next video. Y'all be easy. Peace.